Hi everyone. Right now I'm going through the two-bedroom for Kopar at Newton. Okay, so as per usual, the previous time I actually ran through the site plan with you guys for Kopar at Newton, whether which stack can buy and which stacks are not so favorable. So I believe a lot of people are actually looking at the two-bedroom units for this Kopar at Newton. Okay, so I will just quickly run through with you. Okay, excuse me. For the two bedroom stacks, I've actually circled them as per usual in red. So you can see that uh, they are basically, because block 6 and 8, they are basically facing the same direction. So the stacks, I would say in general, they are facing almost the same direction and having the same view more or less. Okay, so you can see here that 12, 13 and 3 actually shares the same view, and also 9, 17 and 8 shares the same view. Okay, judging from here, okay, if I were to pick, I would always find that at least pool facing is slightly more pleasant. But in this case, of course, stack 12 and 13 and 3 will be looking into another project, as I mentioned in the previous video, the Atelier. But in this case, if I just look at it, the site plan just as it is, right, my choice would be either 12 or 13. And I believe most of the buyers who bought two bedroom have actually went for 12 and 13 as well. Why? Because of the pool facing, the relative distance away from the nearest project, and also I'm facing Kampong Java instead of Bukit Timah Road and the Newton flyover. If you do remember in my previous one bedroom review, the Bukit Timah Road is going to lead to Newton Circus. So this is something that is very, I would say, disturbing lah. This is a personal thing that I'll be facing the road noise day in day out, every morning and every evening. Yes, maybe I won't be home, I'll be out for work, but still I do not like the fact that I'm facing the traffic day in day out. Yeah, because you have to take into consideration the weekends, you see. And stack 3 is actually very close towards the main entrance. Okay, and in this case, if you ask me, I would say that stack 8 funnily is potentially one of the worst stack to actually buy because of the proximity to this Bukit Timah Road is I would say it's really very near lah. It's disturbingly near, and like I said previously, stack 3 very near to the main entrance. I do not like it, and it's very near to the next project as well, which I do not like it as well. So this is something that you have to bear in mind. Okay, now I just run through the two bedroom layout. Nothing very fancy, pretty standard. Everything is squarish as per usual with all new launch. The main door you come in is always a kitchenette, followed by the dining. A long, I won't say it's a long and narrow, but these days the new launches are all designed in such a way you just have a pathway through, and then you have your kitchen on your both side, the sink, and then the hob, and then on both side, and then you just go right into the dining, and then will be the living room. And of course there's a slight difference in this. In fact, if you were to ask me in terms of layout, right, I would say that the two bedroom classic is better. Why do I say that? Because the bedrooms are separated, meaning the bedrooms are one on your left and one on your right. But there's a major drawback to this classic layout is that there's only one washroom, and the bedroom too, if you do notice, you do not have a common toilet. So if your guests all come over, they have no choice but to access your master toilet. Yes, there's two doors, but still it's your master bath, and I believe a lot of people actually do not like the fact that people are using their toilet when there's a common toilet to be used. Okay, so this is a major drawback. And do note that for all the two bedroom layouts here, they have actually given you an option with or without the wardrobe. Okay, so this is optional, so something you have to bear in mind also. And as for the deluxe, they are all the exact same layout. It's just a matter of whether they are mirror image or not. So again, the same thing. You just walk in through your kitchenette and then your dining. And one thing that this is so-called a downside to me is that uh, you have this so-called wasted space here lah, which is a long, narrow walkway, which to be honest eat into your total PSF, and it doesn't really do anything. You can't be possibly putting a table here for dining or anything like that. You there's practically no use for it because it's too narrow to do anything. Yeah, so this small little rectangle here that I'm drawing with my mouse now is actually sort of like a wasted space, which is why I understand a lot of people in general, they do complain that nowadays new launch is like wow, all waste space or long and narrow. Yeah, but even you go to the BTO these days for 5 room flat, they're all the same. You have this narrow walkway before you actually eventually hit the master bedroom. So yeah, it's just the way houses are being designed these days. But plus point, there's a common bath here that you can use for the bedroom too. Okay, so this is definitely a plus for me. And if budget allows, obviously, uh, for the lack of a better word, I will choose the lesser of two evils, which is this, because the common toilet will come in really, really very useful and really very handy if you really need it. Yeah. So this is for stack 8 and 17. So take note, stack 8 and 17. Uh, so again, I've come to for this, yeah, just take note that I mentioned just now stack 12 and 13, they're actually two different layout. One is classic and one is deluxe. Okay, so the obvious choice here I would say is 13, and I hope that people will, I mean, there will be people who do not like number 13, so there isn't much choice here, to be honest. So you have to think whether you want to go for the number 13 or you want to buy a stack that's actually facing Bukit Timah Road. So this is something very real and something that you really have to decide. I mean, of course, given the choice, you want to have the best of both worlds, but obviously in this project and in this layout, it's not possible. And I would definitely pick 13 because when it comes to selling in the future and when it comes to renting, I am at a better position than the rest, because you can't negate the fact that there will be sensitive people who are superstitious towards the number 13, but at the end of the day, there will also be people who actually don't really care about the number 13. They just need to have a nice place near a good primary school, and the layout is superior, and the facing, the noise level, everything is superior to everything else, to all other stacks. So I will definitely go for 13. Yeah, so that's just the way it is. But anyway, uh, so you can see here that they are actually basically mirror image. 3 and 13, they are just mirror image. There's practically no change and no difference. You come in from the main door, again, kitchen, the sink, everything is on the both sides of you, and then you have your dining and then your living hall, and then again you have to cut through this bedroom to this narrow walkway before you eventually hit the master bed. You can see here in stack 13 is exactly the same, no difference, it's just a mirror image. Okay, so once again, let me just go back to the site plan. Okay, so once again, you have to really think long and hard whether you want to be sensitive towards certain unit numbers, or you want to be at a better position to sell and let go of your place, and or maybe even rent out your place when it comes to having rental income or sorts like that. Because experience tells me if you are facing towards a heavy traffic road, right, is, I mean, of course now with the COVID-19 there's no traffic and things like that. So when you go to the show flat, the agents might be telling you, oh, you see the cars are actually not very a lot and whatnot. So I understand the psychology that they play behind. So you do realize that when this entire COVID-19 situation is over, right, is this road is going to be back to normal. And every day, because our office is near there, so more or less usually I pass by this way, and every day I can tell you from 5 p.m. onwards, this road is haywire. It's just haywire. So the noise level is definitely going to be there, whether you like it or you don't like it. So I would definitely 100% avoid stacks that are facing Bukit Timah Road. That's for sure. Okay. And as for stack 3, people might say that okay, maybe I don't care whether is it facing the main entrance or not. Yes, of course, if you are living on a higher floor, stack 3 is not going to be an issue. But again, don't forget that there's going to be another project coming up here. So if you are in stack 3, your balcony is potentially facing into their main entrance, or maybe partially obscured by by the units, by the tower here. Okay. And yes, 12 and 13 also, you look into the project Atelier, but of course there's this nice pool view that's kind of like make a distinct segregation between you and the next block, the new project. So I would definitely, in this case, if I would pick one stack, I would definitely pick 13 out of all. Yeah, so this is my take for this 2 bedroom review. So I hope you find this informative, and do like and subscribe to our channel and share with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video for this 3 bedroom review. Okay, see you guys.